What's going on? It is your boy Chris from YouTube. I don't even know what the hell to say. I'm so used to saying from Day Traders Lifestyle TV, but it's gonna be something to get used to. We're gonna talk today about how I made my first $1 million by the age of 23. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's informative to you, and I'll see you in a minute. All right? Alright, so first and foremost, I want to say thank you to all the new subs in the last month since my last video. Crazy feedback from that vlog. I don't have any expectations from any video that I make. I just make content that you guys want to see, content that I think you guys would enjoy. So I just want to first off just say a big thank you to everyone who subscribed, everyone who watched it, anyone who liked it. If you don't know, by just clicking the like button when you like a video that I post or a vlog that I make, it allows the algorithm which YouTube runs off of to promote that video and make it more seeable or more visible to other people on YouTube. So like always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the like, so that way it gets put onto the algorithm and it informs more people and helps more people. It helps the channel grow. The more the channel grows, the more content I can produce for you guys, because the more ideas that I'll have. So again, thank you for all the new subs. Thank you for everyone that's new. If you're not subscribed yet and you're new and you're just watching this video for the first time, I appreciate you and thank you for coming on. But I want to speak to you today about how I made my first $1 million when I was 23. If you don't know and you haven't read my, I guess, biography on different platforms by now, I started off in penny stocks in 2000, I think it was the end of 2014-ish. Yeah, somewhere around there. Started studying penny stocks and learning about the market. Wasn't a big fan of it. It served its purpose for me, but then I ended up going through all the different markets, through stock options, futures, pretty much every other market, until I came to Forex, which was the last market that I dabbled in, which is pretty much the only one that I hadn't up until that time been a part of. I'll never forget, I had taken like 1 or 2 trades. I opened up an account with a broker, took like 1 or 2 trades the next week, and I fell in love. It was as if like everything that I had done up until that point just clicked and came together. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because a lot of you may have already or may in the future DM me and say, and one thing about me is I try to answer every single DM on Instagram, whether it takes me days or weeks, whatever it is. A, because I like responding to people and helping people, and B, I just really dislike notifications on my screen. So I don't like seeing that I have DMs that are unread or unanswered. My journey was much different. I didn't learn from anyone. I didn't learn from a course. I had to learn the hard way. I learned from losing money, pretty much. That's the way that I learned. I came to a point where I had to start selling my material stuff. I got rid of pretty much every material possession that you can think of, down to like shoes and clothes that like I realistically started needing, but my need and want to succeed overpowered my need for anything, my need or want for anything materialistic, because realistically we don't need materialistic stuff. It's all wants. We could make it literally through our whole lives with 1 pair of socks, boxers, shorts, and t-shirt. Obviously not our whole lives, but it's eventually gonna rip, wear down, stuff like that, but you get what I mean. And the things that I would say that played the biggest factor in me being able to achieve that $1 million mark was A, being super disciplined. When I first started trading, I had locked myself away in my room. I was living with my mom at the time, at my mom's house. I was young. I had just like pretty much dropped everything. I dropped out of school. I like got rid of dead weight from people in my life that were no longer serving a purpose or weren't supporting my vision of where I wanted to go in the future. I just locked myself away in my room. The only time I would come out was to work out, periodically go and get a shawarma down the street, or just like go for like a 10-15 minute drive at night to get fresh air. Other than that, I was locked away in my room, just staring at the charts, learning the charts, learning what I did wrong that day, because it was just day after day after day after day of taking losses, which is the reality of trading. And it's the reality of, especially when you're trying to teach yourself, which is why I came up with the idea of, throughout that struggle, I came up with the idea of like, you know what, like one day I'm gonna learn how to do this. I'm gonna learn how to do it properly, and I'm gonna teach people how to do it properly the way I would have wanted to learn. And like, that's why I never say that like somebody can start making money in this amount of time or anything to do with money, because everybody's different. The amount of effort that I put into something is gonna be different than my next door neighbor on that side and my next door neighbor on that side. Even if we're all given the same opportunity, we're all gonna absorb material at different paces. We're all gonna grow at different paces and learn at different paces. So you can't really tell someone like, do this and in this time you're gonna make money, or you're gonna make this much money. It's just a way of like sucking people in, and it doesn't really exist. At least I don't think so. I don't believe in that. I don't think it's just a realistic situation. But the biggest thing that kept me going was just the knowing of what I wanted out of life and what I had to do to achieve that in life or get closer to that, which a big part of that was just dedication and just fighting through the hard times. And regardless, even once you're successful, you're still gonna go through hard times. There's gonna be days where you take bad trades. This week, I took a trade that I got, I guess, quote unquote, tricked into by the market, and it's just the reality of it. You know what I mean? The trade went against me. The next one I made profit off of. I had a trailing stop in, so that saved me from taking a loss on that one, because obviously the trade went into profit, which was good. That's what you wanted to do. But there's not going to be, like, I've had times where I didn't take a loss. I think the longest time I've ever gone without a loss, like even one losing trade, was like 5.5 or 6 weeks that every single day was profitable. Like I'm talking like 5 to like 15, 20 trades some days. Every single one was profitable, not one losing trade for like 5.5, 6 weeks. And it's just like, it comes and goes. It depends on how you're feeling. It depends. One thing that I had to accept to be able to become successful in trading was to understand that not every day is going to be a good day. There's days where I wake up in the morning still to this day, and I'm just like, you know what, like something feels off. I don't feel myself, or my energy's off, or I didn't sleep well, or whatever it is. And I just understand that like I have to take that day slower and approach it differently than a day when I wake up with a massive amount of energy. And you have to be able to adapt, because the market's always changing and us as human beings are always changing and evolving. And the sooner that we understand and realize that, the sooner that we can find success in not only trading, but success in our health, with fitness, success mentally, with reading books, with any area of life. It takes the understanding of just going with the flow. And that doesn't mean sit around and do nothing. When I say go with the flow, it just means like understand that some days are going to be better than others. And like, just because yesterday was an amazing day doesn't mean that today can't be an amazing day. If I'm feeling different, I have to still give 100% depending on how I'm feeling, but I have to understand and not have the expectation that today is going to be the exact same or better than it was yesterday, because you feel different every day. I meditate every single day, which I find helps regulate and keep me at like one level playing field as much as possible. There's still things that, like, whether I sleep bad or whatever the case is, there's still things that like can make that go off course. But it's a matter of finding. One thing that's led me to success is finding things that work for me and doing them over and over and over again and repeating it. And one thing with meditating was I didn't feel anything for months, maybe even like a year and a half, noticeable changes in myself. But like after like that, like once that curve started going up, that I started feeling changes from what I was doing every single day, the effort that I was putting in every single day meditating. For anyone that's interested in learning to meditate, I've used pretty much all the apps, and the app that I use now is called Calm, C-A-L-M. You can download it. I recommend buying the full version. It's well worth the investment in yourself. One thing about meditating, which again, even that's something that has had a huge impact in me being successful, in my opinion, for myself, is understanding there's a misconception with meditation that you have to always, when you're meditating, you can't be thinking. Your brain has to be silent, and this and that and the other, and there's all these rules, and I don't think that there's any rules with meditating. I think as long as you're present and you're aware of what's going on, whether you're aware of your breathing or you're aware of the thoughts that are coming and going. I still, to this day, I've been meditating now for 8 years maybe, and I still have thoughts pop into my head, but the thing is like, you just gotta let the thoughts act as if they're in a river and just let them go, like they're just passing by, and you're just sitting on the riverbank just watching them, and like, oh, okay, I have to do this today, okay, there it goes. Oh, this happened last week. Oh, okay, there it goes. And just like think about it and just release it, let it go. Don't hold on to a thought, don't stress about it, don't infatuate and fixate on a thought. Just look at it, observe it, let it go. Look at it, observe it, let it go. Focus on your breath and just recenter yourself. Become as present as you can, stay as present as you can on your breathing. And it's crazy because like a 10-minute meditation, when you're super present and you're super there, it feels like it's like 30 seconds, 40, it feels like it's like a minute or two. It doesn't feel like it's 10 minutes. Whereas when you fixate on a thought, you'll like come out of it and be like, oh, like why does this meditation feel so long? And you look at the app and it's only been like 2 minutes out of 10 minutes, and you're like, Jesus, that felt like it was like half an hour. So that's my little tidbit on meditation, which again has been something that's been super positive in my life, whether it was just on a daily basis or if I was going through a hard time or something upset me or I had road rage or whatever it is. Even if I had like road rage, I used to have really bad road rage. I would just like pull over, plug in whatever app I was using at the time or however I meditated at the time, and meditate in my car, and then continue my journey and be in a different mindset, right? I think that it's just as important as working out. Working out is definitely one of the biggest contributors to me being successful. It's taught me discipline, it's taught me patience, it's taught me that you won't see progress. Like it's the same as learning a language, right? Like you're not gonna go and start using Rosetta Stone or anything else to learn a language and in a week be able to speak it fluently. It's gonna take like months or a year and a half, and then you'll be able to, year and a half in, you'll hear someone talking, say it's French or Spanish, you'll hear someone talking and you'll know everything that they just said to that person. You'll be able to have a conversation with them as well, right? So it's not something that happens overnight, and I feel like that's the same thing with the gym. And once I started eating properly and just putting in the consistent effort every single day is when I like saw, after I think like the 4 or 5 month mark at the start of my workout journey and my fitness journey, I saw like huge changes in my body, huge changes in myself mentally, my energy. I used to be like that person that needed to nap every day and was super lazy and always tired, and now it's like I'm up until the latest hours of the night and up at the earliest hours of the morning, and I work out twice a day, every single day. It has a very big impact on your overall mental being and just obviously your physical being and how you feel and how your body's responding and everything like that. Trading wise, being disciplined and super patient is very important. Those are the most important things. Like I have patience in Latin underneath one of my ears and understanding in Latin underneath the other ear, just because you have to just be patient and understanding of what's going on, and whether it's in life or in the market, you have to just be very present, and the more present you are, the quicker you'll learn about yourself, and the quicker you'll learn like, oh, you know what, like today I'm not feeling too good, I'm gonna take like the morning off from the charts, or I'm gonna take the morning off from this or that or the other. And that doesn't mean that you sit around and do nothing. You go work out, you go read a book, you study something, you do something productive to keep you going, but just be patient and go with the flow of how you're feeling, and take full advantage of your amazing days, and the days that you're running on 80 or 90%, still push your hardest, but just be conscious and present and aware of how you're feeling, and that your results may not be the exact same or as good as the day before, like your amazing day that you had on Tuesday or whatever the case is that you're comparing it to. And that's the past, which doesn't really exist anymore. And just try to be always as focused on the present moment as you can. Always set goals. I think setting goals is super important. I think having a game plan has been a very big factor in my success, and just I'm the type of person that I reverse engineer everything. So like with trading, for instance, I'll like figure out like what my end goal is for like the month or like 2 weeks or like a year, whatever it is. And then I'll break it down. Like if it's a year, I'll break it down like per month, and then per week, and then per day. But I'm also like understanding enough to know that like every day am I gonna be able to achieve that. Some days I may achieve the goal for 4 days worth, which it all balances out in the end. But having that understanding and just having that, I think that having that written down clears a lot of mental blur and mental shit that you don't need to have in your brain. If you've noticed, if you've watched a lot of my vlogs, I'm literally always in a tank top. It doesn't matter the month, it doesn't matter the weather. If I'm inside, I'm in a tank top and shorts because I don't need to think about it. I go into my closet. I literally do it unconsciously. I'm not even aware that I'm doing it, and I did that intentionally because I want to think about as few things as possible and use my energy on as few things as possible throughout the day to be able to maximize my efficiency on the things that I need to, which is trading, teaching, business stuff, emails, whatever the case is, whatever I need to do, I need to protect and reserve my energy and just the mental energy that I have to do things throughout the day. So I don't want to have to be thinking about like, oh, like what am I going to put on today, or like, oh, what am I going to put on tomorrow, like, oh, that's why I buy meal preps. I buy meal preps for every single day of the week. I only eat 3 meals a day, lunch and dinner pretty much, because I fast every morning. Which another thing that has been beneficial to my life is intermittent fasting. If you don't know about it, research about it. I don't eat for 18 hours of the day and I eat for 6 hours of the day every single day. I've been doing it for years. I believe it's been a huge factor in me being able to, the times that I eat like shit, not put on weight, or like put on very little, like minimal amount of weight. I'm talking like a half a pound, and I'll like binge eat garbage for like 2 or 3 weeks, like I did at the start of the lockdown. But like once I jumped back on my intermittent fasting and I was like on point with my eating, I like shut it off plus more instantly within like a month. So intermittent fasting has been a huge help too, and I feel like it's also given me a lot of mental clarity, because I believe that your brain is like a car, where if you're waking up right away and you're putting food into your body, you're now forcing your brain and all your organs to work overtime when they just woke up. So it's the equivalent of living in a very cold place, running outside, starting your car and driving full speed down the highway. You might not damage it and affect it the first time, the second time, but that's gonna wear and tear on all the parts inside of the motor, instead of sitting there, letting it warm up, letting it get up to temperature, and then, you know, driving slow while it's still gaining temperature. And then once the car's up to temperature, it doesn't mean you go flying, but you just drive it normal after that. So you have to treat your body the same way, and I've always believed that putting food into your body the second you wake up, nothing should go into your body the second you wake up other than water, and a lot of it, as much as you can. I start eating at 2 o'clock and I stop eating at 8 p.m. every single day. That's what my alarm that you just heard in the background was. It was telling me to stop eating for the day, which I already did that like an hour and a half ago, and I feel like my energy levels went up massive amounts. It gave me a huge bonus of mental clarity and just mental energy and being able to focus on what I need to do. So intermittent fasting is another thing that's been a huge help. I need water, but I don't have water here. Sorry for rambling on right now. I don't like having a game plan when I'm making vlogs. I just kind of talk off of what I feel and what I think is the best. Trading wise though, the biggest tip that I can give you guys is learning how to reverse engineer what you want, like I said before, but understanding that not every day is going to be an amazing day. So knowing that like some days will make up for a few days, other days it's just going to kind of like plateau, whatever the case is. And another thing that will also benefit you the most, which I think it's like I think they call it like the 8th wonder of the world, is compounding. Compounding is crazy, man. Compounding, I went from, some of you that have been following me on Instagram for a long time, I went from trading, if you know about what Forex and how trade sizes work, I went from trading like a half a lot to a lot, and in about 6 or 7 months, it was when I like fully focused on compounding, and really, because I feel like you don't have to work, you still have to obviously work hard when you're compounding, but you don't have to work as hard as just like building an account regularly. Like I don't even remember like what that concept is building an account without compounding, or just trading without compounding. Compounding is definitely the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th wonder of the world. I went from trading a half a standard lot and a standard lot to trading at times like 500, 600, 700 lots at once, like open at once. Like, I mean 5, 6, 7. I think the most I ever had open was 921 lots at once in that time period, like from when I went, it was like a 5 to 7 month period when I went from like a half a lot to that amount, and it just grew and grew and grew. And like there would be like I was like so in the zone that you don't even realize it's happening. Like you'll like one day you'll wake up and you're like, oh, okay, like sweet, it like grew this much, and then like 3 weeks later you're like, damn, like I'm profiting in a day what my total account balance was 3 weeks ago or 2 months ago. Compounding is definitely one of the greatest things I had ever learned, and unfortunately I didn't learn it from anyone. I just learned, I don't even remember how I learned about it. I think I saw like a YouTube video or something about it, or maybe like a quote or a meme about it, that like sparked something in my brain, and I did more research, and then I learned how I can apply it to trading, because it's compound interest. That's ultimately what it is compound interest, but just learning how to apply compounding now to trading, which for any of you that are my student and watching this, you know that there's a lesson on that and how to compound properly. Other than that, honestly, just being very, very organized, being super disciplined, compounding, taking care of your mental health and your physical health. I think that if your body's not healthy, then your brain can't be healthy, and if your brain can't be healthy, you can't be healthy long-term in any other area of life, like mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, and any area of life. If you don't have your physical and your health on point, and you're not taking care of yourself and pushing yourself to your body's limits every single day, and even if you're in the best shape, still pushing to get in better shape, every other area of your life will be affected by it. I sincerely believe that. And you don't need to have a personal trainer. You can spend, if you don't know anything about working out, spend $30 on a course online that teaches you basic workouts, or go search workout programs on YouTube. That there's so much free stuff like on here, and educate yourself, and just be aware of yourself and everything that's going on. When I had no awareness of what was going on, and just like of like my own physical health and everything like that, I was out of shape. I was in a horrible relationship, a super toxic relationship when I was younger, that obviously served its purpose and I learned a lot from. But like I had broken up with that person, and that like triggered something in my head. I was like, you know what, like fuck this, I need to change my life around. I'm miserable, I'm unhappy, my relationship just went to shit, I can't stand working for someone, this, that, the other. Next thing you know, I'm working out every single day. I started off with P90X, and then I started teaching myself workouts and I gained the confidence to go to the gym, because I obviously was super out of shape and overweight, and I didn't have the confidence to go to the gym at the time. And you build as time goes on, and like shit, it's almost a decade now down the road since I started my journey with trading and with taking my physical health to a new level and getting myself back in shape. It feels like it was like couple months ago, or like 2 years ago. Like time flies, even during this lockdown. I think most of you can agree that during this lockdown especially, the time has just absolutely flown by, even though it's been super hard and dark times for majority of the people. Pretty much everyone. I don't know anyone who didn't struggle with something because of this lockdown. Time flies by, so I have always believed that like there's no point in sitting around wasting that time and not being productive and putting something off, when you can be spending that time, because that time's gonna pass. And like I'd assume that everybody that's watching this, like you plan on living for decades more, like 50, 40, 60 years, however old you are. You have like, I know how old I want to live till like the age, so I know how much time I have left. So like for me, it's just like I need to use that time to the best of my ability. There's gonna be days where like I'm like, you know what, like I deserve to sit around and just hang out and watch a movie tonight, but that's very far and few between. Is that I don't even know if that's what the fuck people say, but you get what I mean. Use your time wisely, and don't ever take a moment for granted. Don't ever take anything you have in your life for granted, anybody that you have in your life for granted. Be grateful, always express gratitude to whoever you believe in, because none of this was an accident. Nothing around us was an accident. So always just be grateful that you were given another morning when you wake up, no matter what you're going through or how hard times are. Always be grateful, always be kind to people, because you don't know what someone is going through, and don't judge people. I used to be the biggest hypocrite. I used to be the most judgmental person. I would see someone walking down the street with colored hair and be like, oh, like what the fuck is wrong with this person? And now it's just like, now I just I don't judge people. I just like look at people, I'll smile. Even if I don't like you, I'll still look at you and smile, and just like, life's too short and too precious to live it unhappy and to live with negative energy bottled up inside. So always be happy, always be grateful. Live life to the best that you possibly can. Push yourself the hardest that you can to be the best that you can in every area of life, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially, everything, anything else that matters to you, any other area of life. Just always be grateful. Reward yourself when you've put in the work and when the time is due. I hope that this was informative. I hope that this vlog helps you. I hope that it leads you in the right direction and helps you remodel certain areas of your life and certain things that you need to do. I can definitely say that without me doing all of those things that I listed in this video, I would not have made $1 million or not have made $100,000 or $50,000 or anything that I've made. I would not be able to live in this condo. I would not be able to have this racing simulator. I would not be able to have my trading computer. I would not be able to have anything that I've been able to accomplish in life without everything that I've listed in this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said at the start, I appreciate everyone who subscribed. I appreciate everyone who watches this video through to the end. Even if you didn't watch it through to the end and you're not seeing this part, I still appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe, share it with your friends and family, hit that like button so we get put onto the algorithm, and let's grow this channel. The new name is Chris Regum. You heard it here first. I will see you guys soon on the next vlog. All right, peace.